Well, Streamlabs has like it keeps it pulls the chat into the Streamlabs software, though I do have it open right now because I can hear myself talking, and it's delayed enough that it makes me feel like I'm having a stroke. Okay.
Yep, that's what I'm saying.
All right, cool. Okay, that is turned off. That is awful. All right, cool. Let me go into here. I'll drop it into the Discord, and if you guys want to share on your socials or whatever you want to do, you are more than welcome, of course.
Sharing now.
Away we go. Share. All right.
All right, cool. All right. Let's see. I'll turn off the background music for just the moment. Yeah, let's do a recap because I guess I should know the recap because
You wrote the recap.
I just wrote like a 6-page summary of it, but why don't we go ahead and just for the viewers' benefit and maybe the tired mind of a young father who might be part of this game's benefit. What is the recap? So we started, right, Jen and I out playing Ligaya and Vexian or Wex, respectively. Ended our last session in basically at the beginning of a structured combat encounter. We had both been investigating for our own respective reasons. Ligaya is probably better than Wex's.
Wex's reason seems to have been entertainment.
Yeah, Wex's reason I wanted to.
That was what I picked up on in reading that recap as well.
Yeah, Wex is a precocious, troublemaking child, and maybe more than a little bit entitled and privileged. But Ligaya certainly had a good reason to be there, right? Because she was there to retrieve a package for the criminal underworld, or the one of the various triads, and when she got there, it turned out that the people she was supposed to pick the package up from were not there, and likely are deceased, right?
Their skeletons were there.
Yeah, so yeah, they were there physically, but spiritually, emotionally, they weren't there.
There was also a whole lot of strange vines in the warehouse.
A lot of vines from what I read. Hey,
a lot of big vines.
Ligaya, did you were sent to pick up a package? Did you peeked in the package?
Yes. So I managed to get to the space where the package was, along with the corpses of the people who were supposed to give it to me.
Naturally.
At that point, Wex, out of curiosity, had joined me. And in opening the package, inside it was a government seal. Whether that seal is an actual seal or a forgery of a seal, we don't know. But it's a government seal that I don't want to fall into the wrong hands, because even though I work for a triad, it's kind of like, well, that's the job I could get as a Republic City street urchin. I don't really want that to be my career. So Wex revealed in his blabbering that his dad is some important politician of some sort. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe if we can return this.
He's a businessman he
new politicians.
Yeah, he what do you call it? Glad hands with
new money.
Yes,
a lot. Yeah,
yeah. So I thought if we could get it, if we could get it into like to Wex's dad's friends slash associates, like that might earn me some like credit towards, you know, getting a job somewhere other than a triad. Because
So
rumor
right now,
is that the triads are like looking to combine into some sort of monopoly, and I don't want that to happen.
right now you work for the you are in the employ of a triad.
Yeah. It's hard to
Okay.
get,
Yeah.
you know, a good job when you're not a bender and you're
Understandable.
poor.
Yeah. We're about to have a privilege clash here in a second.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to share the let me share this real quick too to you guys. The UPG sheets, so you can see. Cool. Yeah, where we're at with those.
Ah, yes, that's
Nice.
right.
I can see it.
Yeah.
I think the bulk of what we did last time was kind of like work through these sheets to establish everything that was going on, and then we essentially played one scene.
Yeah.
And then set
Yeah.
up the second scene.
All right, I see it.
With this, cool. Yeah, so I'm just interacting with the stream, so I can. So that's not just like sitting there on the stream for the entire time.
So,
mhm.
Did you? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Did you have something?
Well, I was gonna say, we should before we jump back into the scene and work a way to bring in Rumi, we should roll your campaign goal because Wex and Ligaya have campaign goals. And
Yeah, let's do
Rumi
it.
does not yet have one. All right, so let's do that. So let's go to. So for those watching this stream or recording, we are using a updated draft of the Unmastered Play Guide that I don't have in the game table, so don't really have a good way of like showing what we're looking at on the stream, but it's pretty similar to the public draft that's out there right now for this section at least. So
You said campaign goal, not adventure goal, right?
Yeah,
campaign goal.
Exactly. Yeah, because in the adventure goal in the structured mode, you can generate an adventure goal, but also like chances are you'll sort of end up in a situation at some point in the first couple of acts where an adventure goal will sort of emerge from the narrative itself. So you don't. There's not really a generation step like per se in for structured mode. But yeah, so for the campaign goals though, you will roll a purple and a green.
Just one purple, one green? I thought it was 2 and 2. Oh well.
Also, 2 and 2 is for the adventure goals. No, that's not
okay.
2 and 2 is for something else. 2 and 2 is for pacing.
Is there a character agnostic way to roll dice in Genesys Foundry?
Yes, there is. So if you open the little dice thing now, Assembly Kings recently added that. Just
okay. Click on the D20 next to dice pool.
And it now just gives you a generic NDS roll window.
This is awesome.
That's a recent
Assembly
thing.
is doing the Lord's work. Thank you, Assembly, if you are watching.
Yeah, he's been putting in just mad work.
One purple, one green. I wish I could type some context into this dice pool. Assembly. I want to type context into this roll.
We are putting this user story on the task list, and we would like to have this ticket resolved soon, please.
One success. Just one success. And I have a copy of the Unmastered Play Guide open as well. So cool. One success, and purple is a wash. So there is something important that must be obtained, like an object or an ability, but possibly more abstract. It may be for personal gain, or it could be critical to allies, friends, and family. It will be mine.
So yeah,
this is great because I feel like this plays right into when I was reading that recap. Because I wasn't sure where Rumi would fit in, and then in reading the recap, it made just really clear sense to me that I think Rumi's after the same thing, for different reasons, of course.
The leaked the secret family technology that Wex is after, or
No, no,
preventing
the seal.
Oh, the seal. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, that's perfect. So you're after the actual yeah, okay, that works.
The MacGuffin, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, no.
I think it's something important. It's an object that must be obtained. I don't think it's for maybe it's for personal gain. I'm not exactly sure. It could be critical to allies, friends, or family. With the way that this role has come up, and you know the way that the Unmastered Play Guide works. For those of you watching at home or following along or not familiar with this Unmastered Play Guide, this table, there are some variations on this concept of "it will be mine." It could be something that's a little bit more dangerous, but I got a pretty good roll with my campaign goal roll. So, could be critical to allies, friends, or family. I don't know. Should we? What's up?
Do you have anything you want to share with us about Rumi's background? Like, I mean,
yeah.
I know that Rumi is a metal bender because, like, you built.
Yeah, because of what we talked about.
But Fat Crab and I did both like introduce our characters a little bit, like their backgrounds.
Oh yeah.
Last session. So if there's anything you want to like share just broadly about Rumi before he appears on the scene, to give a little bit of context to establishing these goals.
So Rumi is a young 20-something, young man living in Republic City. He's from the city of Zaofu, the metal benders, and he's a former Republic City metal bending police officer, which he quit after like less than a year, I want to say, because he grew really disillusioned with the corruption that he was seeing within the force. And so he's spent the last few months kind of living under the radar, and becoming somewhat of like a street vigilante. So he's been laying low and beating up petty criminals, I imagine. So he's growing up on the streets of Zaofu is what I'm guessing, and now he lives because I took the street tough or the bounty hunter and I made him a bounty hunter and what did I say? Bounty hunter.
He's like a special
bounty hunter rogue,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I chose rogue, but not like in the thievish sense, which is one of the things I was like, man, I really got to fix this avatar stuff. The flavor there is all like you have chosen a life of crime. I don't mean like rogue necessarily in like a thief criminal sense, but like he is a roguish person. He's more apt to use his cunning, or at least he thinks he's cunning. And bounty hunter, I put like vigilante in parentheses. That's really like the flavor that I'm spinning on that. So bounty hunter is one of the careers in the Avatar book. So yeah, that's Rumi in a nutshell. He grew up in Zaofu, and it instilled him with a strong aversion to instability. So his fear is change, basically, like big winds of change. He didn't have a whole lot of friends growing up either. He certainly didn't make many friends on the force. He's kind of bossy. So he, despite this, like I think he has a good heart. He wants to root out corruption. He sees that there's injustice. He sees the way that non-benders are treated, and he doesn't think it's right. And I think if we're talking about motivations, his greatest asset is his ability to think on his toes and be creative.
Does he have any important allies or items or anything noteworthy like that? So, like, Ligaya has like an inferior war fan that is important to her character. I have a monkey fish that is useful.
I have a spool of metal that is really important to me. I'm wearing I'm wearing a cool leather jacket, which is my leather armor, and I think for the sake of complications and for the sake of like tying it into the narrative, I think it would be interesting if the spool of metal maybe he took with him from the Force when he wasn't allowed to do that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I like that. It's like a spool of like I don't know, like metal bender.
Yeah,
metal.
so like in the series, the metal benders, they have like spools attached to their belt clips on either. So like they have double spools. I think Rumi just has one.
Okay.
And I don't think he has like the full. He obviously doesn't have the full like metal bender police uniform. He doesn't have. He's not decked out. He's not armored out. And again, if he doesn't want to lose his privileged access to this spool, basically, he has had to lay. I would guess, and I would write in like he's had to lay low because otherwise the police force would catch on and they would be like, "Who's this guy swinging from ceiling? From skyscraper to skyscraper? What the hell's happening?"
I like how Rumi is effectively like, like a poor version of the newest Batman movie, Detective Batman.
I no joke. I was this close to like I don't have enough experience points now, but I got this idea that he's going to start using gadgets and stuff. Like, yeah, he's a metal bender, but I don't want to rely on bending entirely. So I want to like I want to start
special ally that's a family.
Yeah, I want to find an
baby.
ally who starts like making me shit.
That's great. But cool. Okay, so yeah, I have him. So important items are that spool of official metal bender metal. That he has only one of that he stole from his precinct before, not washing out because he didn't wash out, I guess, but before.
No, he didn't wash out. He quit.
Yeah, before quitting.
At least that's the narrative I'm spinning now until we find out what really happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then for Rumi's campaign goal, it is 10 steps because that's the recommended level of steps in the UPG. Obviously, we're not going to be completing these campaign goals tonight, but
not tonight anyway.
Yeah. But Rumi's campaign. So Rumi is after the stolen seal. That's like your campaign goal and sort of story arc for this season.
Yeah, I think it fits in perfectly. We don't need to introduce yet another item. At least that's my thinking, right? Like we've already got this cool MacGuffin right here. I'll hook onto it.
Or maybe, or well, I'll also be like, is after a stolen seal, and wants to return it. Maybe it's the stolen seal. Maybe this stolen seal isn't entirely what it appears to be, and may in fact itself be a duplicate or something, or a replica. So
Given
we don't know
that
because
crazy
that's a lot of
spirit
steps.
vines want it. Yeah.
Well, so my thinking is the spirit vines are interested more in the box, honestly, than the seal, because the box is like like the chest is like that fancy wood and like leather and stuff. So like I sort of imagine that it's actually the chest that they're after, but we can flesh that out as we play through. All right.
Oh yeah.
Cool. So that is updated for the tracking. Yeah, for the game tracker. Formatting is goofy. I can't figure out why formatting is strange. What is that's the last thing I need. Why can't I add a new? There we go. Okay. Yeah, what are your motivations? Because we keep those at the top of the episode tracker just for easy access.
My strength is that Rumi's strength is that he's creative. Do you want like the one word?
Just a quick description. Okay,
I'll give you the quick description. So Rumi's strength is that he's creative. His greatest asset is his ability to think on his toes and improvise. I hope that is reflected. It's not. I'm not that ability. Like I can't improvise that quickly all the time. And today, it's been not a long day. Like I wish it were over, but like it's 8. It's a little late, and I'm kind of tired. I'm an old man now, so
that's when you flip a story pointer. Like improvisation is happening, but it's abstractly happening.
Yeah. So his flaw, I changed it from being annoying to being bossy.
Okay.
Annoying as a flaw, I don't know. I didn't think it was going to jive or synergize well with like what we're trying to do here. So I think bossy makes a little bit more sense because it gives me an opportunity. Because I'm coming in as an outsider to this bond and establishment that you guys have created, the foundation from last time, and I think it would.
I think Ligaya finds
sense.
Wex annoying already. So
yeah, and I got that as well from the recap, and I was like, I don't want to be the annoying one too. No, it's fine.
It's just 2 people pissing Ligaya off for the entire adventure.
I still think Rumi and Ligaya are not going to get along. Desire is justice. Rumi wants to root out corruption within the metalbender police force of Republic City. And his fear is change. So growing up on the streets of Zaofu instilled Rumi with a strong aversion to instability.
All right. All right, perfect. All right, so I think that's okay. Cool. So that is all. Okay, cool. So we have the PCs set, the PC information set up at the beginning of the structured episode tracker. I'm just gonna go through just a quick recap on some of the lists, and then we can jump on into the game, I think, and figure out a way to bring Rumi in. Because honestly, I think Rumi could just sort of like show up in the initiative.
It would be
order.
perfect.
Yeah, like I don't like, and you can think of a reason why Rumi is, Rumi's nightly vigilante, not Batman vigilante, but other vigilante.
He could have gotten a tip. He could have gotten a tip that,
That's what I was thinking. Like I got some tip. Maybe I have. My thinking was if I need a hook, right, an NPC in this world, then it's got to be like an informant. I think that makes the most sense.
You don't have like a dramatic entry talent, right?
No, I know. I was. That's like I only have 100 XP, but like there's so many things that I could get.
Like swinging on with the metal bending spool. Okay, cool. But yeah, okay, that's perfect. Yeah, I think we'll get to that when we get to it. So first,
yeah, absolutely.
This. So Act 0, the things that were established on the list for characters, the dead triads have as a character. They were characters at one point. The items are that fancy chest wrapped in leather and twine, the stolen official seal of government that's usable for forging documents, possibly, that was inside the fancy chest, and still is inside the fancy chest. Ligaya is currently holding it, though it is clearly...
Vines like also had grabbed at it.
Yeah, and the vines, vines are going after the box with the stolen seal. Like, they slithered towards it. The vines also... I have it here. We didn't actually establish that, I don't think, but it seems likely that the vines killed the triads. Yeah. There might be something else. I mean, maybe this dark spirit was actually the thing that killed the triads, but I think the vines killed the triads. That's what I'm going with now.
I'm not sure what the distinction is between vines and dark spirit. I mean, the dark spirit could have been controlling the vines. We don't know.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the areas were the warehouse that's infested by vines. I mean, that's where we're in. That makes it to the list. We entered Act 1, so nothing has been established in Act 1 yet for the lists. And then, cool. So I'm going to minimize this. And let's quickly recap what's on the terrain here. So we have rubble, difficult terrain. That's dividing the two zones. I just realized I installed the mod that like generates a random adjective before when you drop an NPC onto the table, and
oh, that's nice.
So this is a civilized dark spirits.
I was gonna ask you why it was civilized.
Yeah, I'm 100% certain that was not what it was when we put it on the table. So when I reloaded, it added a new adjective. I think it replaced it.
Very nice.
But in this, somehow in the intervening time, it has become civilized. It went to what's that etiquette school that kids go to? Like the southern. It doesn't matter. But yeah, it's civilized in the intervening time. So the dark spirit's in the same spot with us. This little icon here we are using as the chest with the seal in it, because the chest is pulling itself towards the dark spirit, right?
The chest is moving towards the dark spirit?
It is being pulled into, towards like the spirit wild area that's behind it, or towards the dark spirit. It's being pulled in the direction. They're both in the same direction.
we needed something to like require that we engage with this combat. So like that's why it's taking the box. Because if we still had full control of the box, we could just run away.
We could just run away.
We could still just try to run away. Yeah, we could still try to just run away. Rumi could show up, and we could be like, well, looks like this guy has it under control. Right.
I have a fear of failure. I cannot run away until I have the box.
True. Nice. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And then, so in the middle here, though, that is what I'm trying to remember, though. What was that? There was a catwalk, right? Because there was an advantageous space. So that's what this is, this like catwalk area. And I think there's like 2 elevated spots on either side. And then this is where, this is difficult terrain where the rubble has collapsed.
Yeah.
How did you guys end up on the other side of the rubble?
No, the Dark Spirit's on our side.
No, that's what I'm saying. When I read the recap, maybe I just read it wrong. It seemed like the rubble busted open a wall, and then on the other side of that wall was the Spirit Wild Grove in which the Dark Spirit stood. So I thought like the wall dramatically revealed the existence of this spirit, behind the curtain, so to speak.
Yeah, but I think that spirit then moved into our section.
Oh, okay. I don't remember. Never mind.
there was a mechanical reason that the spirit is in our zone right now. I don't actually remember.
I got you.
What that is. I think
what a dramatic place to show up.
There was like a threat spend. I think it was a threat spend or something. Oh shoot! Also, I need to connect Craig so I can have something take actual notes.
If you don't record.
Yeah.
Now recording.
All right, cool.
Oh, I love that guy.
So creepy. Hate Craig so much.
I
have a very fraught relationship with Craig. I both hate Craig and I'm in constant astonishment at what Craig actually is and everything about Craig as an open source program. It's kind of insane. I'm pretty sure what happened was that just mechanically we spent threats, I think, to have the Dark Spirit end up starting in short range of us. Though I realize now that you are mentioning it that narratively, in my mind, I remembered it being in the Spirit Wilds, but we'll just
like a figurative Spirit Wilds, a place that has been overgrown so much that it looked like a veritable spirit. Well, that's how I was picturing it from the recap.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm imagining too. Like maybe it is linked to the Spirit Wilds or something. I mean, there's vines, but like there's nothing that is not like established yet, I don't think. But yeah, with that, Lo, why don't we go ahead and you can enter all of us in combat, right?
I am going to dash away from this desk to go grab a notebook that I should have had already. I will be right back.
Okay, cool. I'll get the initiative set up.
Nice. I'll sit here and think, how the hell does Rumi show up?
Perfect. I wish there was a way to like pin a window that I could minimize in Foundry, so that when I hit escape, it doesn't like. Oh, are we actually in combat already? Oh, we already are in combat. Combat's already set up. So, yeah, we can just roll initiative. So.
We're rolling vigilance.
Vigilance, yeah. I don't know why it's defaulting to cool. And then I'll roll for the Dark Spirit. I think Dark Spirits should be vigilance as well. The civilized Dark Spirits. The gentleman Dark Spirit. In the seersucker suit and very comfortable hat.
Should I roll?
That's what I was just thinking too. I think I mean, if you're gonna be like entering the scene after combat started, or well, no, why don't we just say like, yeah, you're entering as like this rubble and smoke is clearing, you are also Rumi is also like entering combat. Maybe we.
I mean, I am an
Rumi
earthbender. Maybe I
swinging in,
kick down a wall or something.
This wasn't the spirits or vines.
mean,
This was Rumi just being really indiscreet.
You could enter like on one of the scaffolds if you wanted.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
if
true.
you
Like I just come
came in-
up,
Yeah, that'd be
exit
great.
or
Like-
enter left or whatever.
Enter Batman style.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right, that's what we're doing. I'm just gonna roll vigilance.
All right. Yeah. Oh well. Put your you
gotta
need to
put
your token on the board. Yeah.
My bad.
And then also, Jen, go to the combat tab, and then you roll initiative from there, and that'll create the PC slot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I see.
And then you can now also roll from the.
And you can click. You can cycle which skill to use. Oh, this is.
Yep.
Is this all built into the Genesys app, or are these modules?
This is all Genesys. This is part of Genesys itself.
Nice.
Yeah, and you'll see in a second when we begin combat, it converts all of this to slots that we claim.
Oh, nice.
So it's now
wow.
Yeah, so
NPC
slot
first,
claim.
huh?
Yeah, so
Oh,
NPC
nice.
first. That's great, but cool. Yeah, so there we go. All right, round 1 of this. I also was just thinking earlier. I'm super glad you're able to make today's session because I don't remember too much about how bending works in
It's just magic, man.
Okay, it is just magic. That's what I thought.
It's basically
like standard
it's
raw
just magic and
Okay.
yeah, no, it's standard raw magic. There's some extra effects that you'd have to refer to the PDF for, and there is some stuff that is like magic plus. But
Mhm.
I can't imagine any of us are really like metal bending is technically like one of those magic plus things, and all it really is it lets me just lets me manipulate the way I'm already doing magic, so I can add qualities to my magic attacks or barriers or conjurations depending on what I'm doing. But I have to suffer more strain, and it's more difficult.
Okay, cool.
Maybe it
Cool.
shouldn't be more difficult for a native bender. I don't know. We'll figure that out later.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the civilized dark spirit is gonna claim. Okay, it claims the first slot, the first NPC slot. Now, do either of you guys have any idea what you think the civilized dark spirit should be doing, or should we use the move generator for the NPC?
I'll
So-
give it up to the move generator, but I want to hear what Jen has to say.
I am interested in what the move generator says, but I think the spirit should be geared towards getting the box.
Yeah,
Because,
I was just thinking that too.
And whether that means like attacking the person who is closest to the box, like if the vines are actually moving the box already, like we need to establish what exactly is going on with that box so that when it comes to PC turns, we know how to interact with it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that
Um,
context, move generator.
All right. All right. So yeah, let's use the so structured NPC moves, table 16B on page 31 of the current draft, or 35 in the PDF. We will roll. This is a rival, right? Is this the rival? Yeah, it must be. Yeah, it's not a minion and it doesn't have strain. So, rivals do 2 green and a purple for their roll. Jen, do you want to do that roll for the
All right.
Do the honors.
yeah.
So I click the dice button. You said
Two-
2 greens
2
and a
green
purple,
and a purple. Yeah.
and it is just those things. And then the net thing matters, right? 2 advantages and 1 threat.
Yeah. For all of these, every table except for the gold generators, they net just like normal. So,
Okay, so this is 1 advantage
just
then.
1 advantage. Yeah. So with 1 advantage, the NPC takes aim or something similar. So they're focusing on aiming. It is a wash for the success failure. So the NPC uses their
Okay.
action to perform a second maneuver.
So I think it makes sense then for it to move closer to the box.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And presumably aim at me, since I'm the one who's there at the box.
Are you holding the box currently?
I think there's kind of like a tug of war with the box and me. Because something is pulling it away. But I haven't given up on it yet.
Yeah. Something is something mystically, like you can't physically see it? Okay.
Yeah, it's not like a vine or anything. There's like
okay.
It's not like wrenching it away, but it's like a definite force that is tugging on the box. Yeah, maybe so it's a second maneuver, so like, the NPC could engage with the NPC can get into engage with the box and then like maybe grab it or something, right?
Well,
or like pull it, or you think? Well, I guess, maybe use the second mover to like aim a grab for an action.
Why
so
not
get like a?
I would say an opposed check. Yeah,
I was gonna say, why not an opposed athletics or brawl to see if the NPC is able to wrest free the box from Ligaya's control. Maneuver to move, action to thing.
I'm just saying because we rolled on the table and the table said it's doing 2 maneuvers.
Oh, okay.
That was why I was saying it should be aiming with the other one. So that aim could be like, oh, this will be a boost die for the opposed roll that will happen.
Makes sense.
I would say that it could take the strain. I think it would make sense for it to take the strain to take it to the second maneuver and then like do the action to just grab and do the opposed check for the action.
So it gets the aim and it does the action as well,
and
it suffers 2 strain because of that.
I mean, that's what if I were. You said this is a rival or a nemesis level. Okay. How much strain? Well, how much strain does he have? A lot.
He's at full strain. Well, he's at 10 wound threshold.
Okay, yeah, no, I mean, if the NPC hasn't, first move. I also as a GM, I mean, I might also rule like, let's push it in round 1. Why not?
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I'm updating our entropy momentum if you guys want to do the roll for that.
Okay, so my athletics is 3 greens, so that's good. Its difficulty is going to be. All right. How do we roll on behalf of this civilized spirit? Is there a way for? Oh, okay. Now I see its stats. Okay, so it's
So we are at 1 momentum because we entered into a structured encounter, and 0 entropy. Just as a reminder on that.
Okay, it does not have athletics, so it's going to be rolling its brawn.
Nice.
Which is 3 greens for it, and
not
it's
nice.
Going against, it's going against me athletics wise. I also don't have any ranks, so that's gonna be 3 purples. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Okay, and then we said it did and.
Like an aim maneuver, so it should get
an aim maneuver, so it's getting a boost die. So it's 3 greens and a blue to my 3 purples. 1 success.
Ooh, but 2 threats.
2 threats. It gets the box.
But
2 threats.
Maybe you take. Maybe it gets the box, but you grab the seal.
Oh, like out of the box?
I don't know though. We said that it specifically wants the box, and maybe do we know that it doesn't care about the seal?
That's just like what
we don't know what it wants. Period.
That was just me spitballing. Yeah, I don't have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if we want to decide that, I think that makes sense to me. But I think it also, but the seal was in the box, right? So like that would be quite the. You have like open the box and like pull the seal
open the
out.
box. Yeah. Or maybe that's what happened. Maybe the seal falls out and like tumbles down somewhere into the spirit vines.
The other option is that one of us gets a free maneuver. So
I like that.
Always an
like
option.
Oh, also
like Rumi, if you wanted to do anything to like fabulously descend from the railing. Or maybe you're happy up there and you'll be bending from a distance. But that's a possibility. Is a PC maneuver.
Yeah, I also are you we also have the specialty spender tables.
Okay.
That I forgot about.
Tell us about these tables.
That I put in just today because on page 27 of the PDF, 28 of the PDF and down, there's tables 12A through J. So each of these tables correspond to a specific result of the features generator. So when we generated features, what I need to do is I need to recall what we rolled, which I'm not, I don't totally remember. But it's, let's see, so it's difficult, there's like haphazard placement or something. Oh, so I think we got a threat, right? Because an area is haphazardly organized nooks and crannies. So I think that was like the middle part, maybe. And a success, because a portion of the area, two successes. A portion of the area provides an advantageous position. Because, yeah, that's what the catwalks are from. So, so it's two successes and the threat table. So that is going to be the first table on page 24 or 28 of the PDF. And then also here we go.
So based on what type of features you roll, there's specific tables of things to do to spend results.
Yeah, these are just like suggested result spenders. So because we got two results, I'm just assuming that might not have actually been the case.
Two results? Do you mean two threat?
No, we got a threat and we didn't get a wash. So we in either
on the axis,
either direction, either axis, yeah. So
yeah. We know what success means here though.
Oh, we're talking about when we rolled the features for the combat.
Oh, yeah, when we generated the area, yeah. So we generated the features. So because when we generated the features, we got the two successes and the threat. The two successes corresponds to that first table for spender suggestions, and then the threat corresponds to the threat table on page 31 of the PDF for spender suggestions. So these are just like suggestions that like you don't have to necessarily use them, but just to sort of like give the features a little bit of extra oomph aside from sort of what you come up with narratively. So for example, the table on page 31 is the active character drops their weapon and it is treated as if it has been unequipped. Would be a threat spend for that one. Or this other one, the first one is active character suffers a wound and moves off of the advantageous portion if they are on it. So I guess neither of those really, neither of those super apply.
Yeah, I don't see that those apply in this situation.
Yeah. So that's fine. I would say like maybe if you wanted to use one of those like rather than a weapon, maybe the spirit pulls the box away from you, but doesn't actually grab it. It just drops the box. Like the box falls to the ground in between you. Neither of you are engaged with it anymore.
So successful in wresting the box out of your hands.
Yeah.
But the threat is that now neither of you have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and
I like that.
So then it's down on the ground among all the vines. The other thing that I just noticed in looking at the dark spirits is they get a second maneuver without suffering strain. They always get that.
Oh yeah,
So
they do. Oh no.
It actually has not suffered a penalty, so it still has 0 wounds.
Oh okay,
which is
perfect.
good for it.
Good call. Yeah. That's one of its big things. Oh, and it automatically adds to threat to combat checks targeting it.
Box skitters to the floor among all of the vines. So the interior of this is still kind of riddled with vines that you have to move carefully through. It's difficult terrain, I think.
Excellent.
Awesome. So yeah, and then PC slot next. Ligaya want to react immediately? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know anything at all about spirits or about like what is going on here from a metaphysical perspective.
Are you saying that from Ligaya's perspective or from your perspective?
Well, I never finished watching Korra, so for both of us,
I see.
I'm just at the start of season 2. I think my focus is on the box, and the box has skittered away. So, but that spirit is engaged with me, essentially. Like, it came all the way up to me.
This is true, yes.
Are we saying the box is now short range away from me and the spirit?
Yeah, I think neither of you are engaged with it.
Yeah, it's just in the zone, right? Like, so it would take a maneuver to engage with it again.
Yeah, maybe I'll move the spirit off to the engaged with you or closer to engaged with you just to make it more there.
Excellent. I see what I'm coming for. There it is. I'm just gonna grab it and move.
I think
swing it.
I think actually what I'll do is I will incidentally yell at Wex. And I'll ask Wex to grab the box and get out of here with it. And I will slow this creepy spirit thing down. And I'll attack this spirit thing with my war fan.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. And Wex, still under the delusion that you are a government ninja. Now believes he is being
a government ninja.
Commandeered or whatever, or deputized. Yeah, into the government ninja corps. So Wex is you just see a smile. Wex is just smiling ear to ear. He's super excited about this. Also, he's in danger, but he's very excited.
I figure it's safer to go after the box than it is to fight with a spirit. And you're a little kid, so maybe I will find out whether I can count on you or not. If we can be friends for real, which is what I desire. A longing. All right.
Oh.
So I'm going to aim. Actually, I think I have to pull out my war fan. I think I didn't have it out yet. War fan
I think that makes sense. Yeah, it's a maneuver to do that. Make sure you claim the initiative slot, by the way. So have your Ligaya selected as your character, and then in the combat tab, you just hit claim this slot.
All right. Have her selected?
Yeah, left click on her token.
Oh.
On the and then that'll select her, and then you can click claim this slot.
Okay, combat. Claim this slot. All right. Now, she is going to martial arts. She's going to aim.
Man, they rolled really good, that spirit.
Oh, no, she's not going to aim. She's not going to aim because she had to draw her war fan. She had to draw her war fan.
Yeah, but you have strain.
Take the strain.
I don't know what spirits do.
That's fair, yeah.
And this particular spirit adds 2 threats to all combat checks targeting it. So, and this particular spirit...
Oh, I should clarify. That is the spirit. So it doesn't have all 3 of those things at once where it says combat, defense,
movement. It may shift. It's a form shift.
It may shift. once per turn as an
Okay.
incidental. So I think we can assume it's in one of those forms, but it's
Okay.
not
it
in
didn't
all three.
It didn't take strain.
Yeah.
So
It was
it's
in the movement form.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
makes
that's
sense.
fine.
I think.
Okay, so it's not adding those threats now. And it's not an adversary.
Oh, I also just realized that the spirit, once per turn, the spirit may teleport a short distance effectively as an incidental, including to.
It basically, yeah, I think it's parkour essentially.
Yeah, but it's just because we have that elevated terrain that Rumi is on. But if the spirit gets the box, actually, then it can just like teleport up to the catwalks and make this much more challenging.
No. Right. So this is a regular melee attack, 2 purples. And I have an inferior warfan, so I add a setback die.
And we have story points.
Where is it?
We have all 3 of our story
points
that we set, yeah.
I think I will spend a story point.
Do it.
I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna say, it's because it's like the attack is sort of like using the vines, like not full on parkour, but kind of like step up, and like come down from slightly higher. So to spend a story point, what do I have to click on for that?
I just click on. This is where, yeah. So you just I can do it.
Okay.
Basically, I have to like manually change them.
What? Really? I thought you could just click on the PC story point box and it would spend.
You can, but because like we're GM assistant GMs to have full app, yeah, like and because it doesn't match the number of player, like it gets really wonky, and there's not.
That was almost a triumph.
Oh, that's a ton of successes though. You slap the hell out of that dark spirit.
Okay, so my inferior fan actually adds a threat, not a setback die, a flat out threat, and the end result here is a single threat. My poor war fan gets a little more frayed. I get a little more frayed, I think, actually. So I will take a strain.
And the 4 successes, right?
And the 4 successes, yes.
Oh, I thought you said just the threat. I was like, wait, but what about the success?
She only sees the threat. Okay, so 4 successes with my fan.
So also, we can just manually tally it here, but you should be able to open up the combat tab and then just like click the weapon, and it'll do the damage calc for you. It won't apply soak or anything, but it'll like tally all of that.
I don't see how to get. I mean, I'm on the combat tab, but I don't see how to get weapons or anything.
Oh, you know what? No worries. Go to inventory, and then in inventory, you need to equip your warfan because it's not equipped.
Where's inventory?
It's another tab. It's in the middle of the character sheet.
Okay.
Yeah, the little red bookmark flag things.
Ah, okay. I see.
Yeah, so now in the combat tab, you should be able to see it, and it should have, I think everything is added to it already, but might not be.
All right. Well, for right now.
Yeah, we can just.
It was 9 damage.
All right, cool. And it is 3 soak, so 6 wounds. Oh, it did have melee defense though. If you want to roll a setback die.
Oh, okay.
You also have the damage dealt to this adversary before applying soak, unless it comes from a supernatural source, such as a bending form or blessed weapon, or another spirit.
Okay. Well, that also makes a difference then. Okay, so I rolled the defense die, so I actually only had 3 successes, so that was 8. If it gets halved, then that's 4.
So 1.
And so 1 gets through.
Is that a new, or did I just not add it?
No, that's it. It don't sweat it. It there's a call out box on page 147 of the second age, which has the spirit adversaries call out box. So it's assumed that all spirits have these abilities unless the GM says otherwise, right?
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
So I think like there's this flurry of fan attacks and stuff, and a lot of the fan attacks simply go straight through the spirit. Like only one fan attack like actually like seems to kind of hit it. Everything else just kind of like swishes and slashes through.
And then
that's my turn.
Do you have a wait? Is a threat not that threat doesn't count, right? Or what's the threat?
That threat was a strain to.
Oh, you took a strain
to me.
Okay. Oh, okay. You took the threat already. Okay, cool. Because I'm gonna say I think that like that is perfect because I imagine that like especially if Ligaya is not familiar with spirits, like after she does this like crazy whirlwind of attacks and they all go through, we just see like the like Avatar. Like sweat drop sort of like shock expression, like a Sokka face, basically.
I guess you could say that spirit was unfazed.
Is that what Rumi's? Is that? Are you gonna take the next PC slot? That's Rumi's.
Yeah, I'll take the next PC slot after that. Why not? Rumi comes bursting through the rubble, or maybe not bursting through the rubble. Rumi comes jumping through the ceiling, like a hole in the ceiling or something, and lands on the catwalk. And he looks down. And he sees this commotion happening, and watches as the box tumbles. And then Ligaya like goes with her flurry of fan swipes, and he's like, "I don't know who you all think you are, but this is off limits. You are all trespassing. And I need that box." So I'm going to... I'm gonna try to get down. How tall? I want to get down. I want to spend my maneuver to get down and engage with that box. I think it's going to take 2 maneuvers to get there. Probably 1 maneuver to get down from the catwalk and 1 maneuver to get over there to the box. Or maybe like 1 maneuver to get down and move and 1 maneuver to engage. No, moving is, you know what I mean. I want to get down and I want to get that box.
So you want to like dive diagonally to the box?
Yeah, I'll dive diagonally if that's what it takes.
So I feel like this is going to take 2 maneuvers. We've said that the interior is like full of vines and stuff, and we previously...
Oh, so it is difficult terrain.
Yeah,
but in the first session, we had Wex like sliding along vines and stuff like that. So I think it makes sense that you can essentially travel by vine from where you are to down on the floor here.
Okay.
But it'll take two maneuvers to get where you're going in this short range space, right? This whole warehouse is all short range size.
Yeah, everything in the warehouse is short range size, but this is like that weird sort of aspect to distance in Genesys 2, where like you're at an elevated position, and technically it's in the same range band, but it does seem like it should sort of be like it's a short range band down too, right? So it's like you're doing a diagonal, I think. So I think I guess 2 maneuvers make sense for that reason.
Yeah, and since there's vines everywhere, like it's kind of like a jungle gym in here. So anywhere is accessible by 2.
But you do have your
maneuvers.
metal coil thing though.
Well, and I was just gonna say I don't have like a special like Spider-Man ability, not rules as written. But I was gonna say that like that I could use my bending arts to, draw upon my metal whip and try to kind of like swing myself down. I would imagine that this would either be like utility or augment, just like a narrative use of it. I'm not necessarily looking for structured, benefits here.
Yeah, I think augment that would be. I mean, you're augmenting your movement.
Yeah, I'm augmenting movement to get past like the excess terrain circumstances. Sure, absolutely. So augments to purple. And is a cunning based action. Oh yeah. So I said magic rules is written. There is a slight exception to that. When you are bending, you bending arts is a skill that's not. It's tied to all of your characteristics, and the form that you use, the spell action, will tell you what characteristic it is governed by. So, for instance, instead of like instead of Arcana in Genesys, like fantasy stuff, which is always intellect spellcasting, you are instead augment is a cunning action. So I have to roll bending arts with my cunning instead.
Cool.
I have 1 rank in bending arts.
And
which is
I
not
updated
represented here, but that's okay.
the entropy tracker because we're now at 1 entropy because of the threat from the last check.
1 rank in bending arts. I have 3 in cunning. Let me roll this bad boy. Or 4 in cunning. I'm sorry.
And
I wish there was a way to decouple.
This makes it a check, or is this because it's a bending check, right? Is this an action to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Augment's definitely an action, and we'll just say like if I'm successful here, I would imagine that can't, because I'm augmenting like my maneuverability and my movement. If I'm successful here, then I would imagine that would enable me, as long as I concentrate, to continue using my metal whip in future rounds without having to make the same check.
Right. Okay. I was gonna say
to maneuver and stuff.
Basically, you can avoid the difficult terrain penalty with the
Yeah, I'm like giving myself free Swift, basically. Here I go.
Lots of
Nice.
successes.
5 successes, 1 threat. So I'll suffer. I'll resolve this first. So I succeed. I super succeed. Holy crap! And you watch as Rumi kind of, whips out the metal coil. It goes to grapple around some sort of like rafter that's dangling or something. A piece of maybe a catwalk on the other side of the room. And he swings down to grab the box, and it looks really cool, except I'm not really good with depth perception, or maybe like a spirit vine, kind of like rumbles beneath me and switches positions a little bit, and I don't land. Well, one threat. I go skidding a little bit, and I'm not right next to I'm not immediately next to the box. I have to spend a maneuver to get there.
Okay, cool.
Wex can still get it.
Yeah, but I'll suffer 2 strain for using bending.
How are you dressed?
That's
you said you're in a leather jacket, but it's just like a plain leather jacket? Or are you also a ninja?
Yeah. No, I'm wearing a normal like street leather jacket.
Like a bomber jacket or something.
Yeah, maybe like a bomber jacket. So like that makes a lot of sense, because it is kind of like 1920s like Hong Kong China inspired. So like I like that. Probably just pants and a leather jacket.
Okay.
Some cool boots.
You've come in telling us that like us being here is unauthorized, but you are not wearing any sort of official uniform.
I'm not at all.
Yeah, I think when Wex sees you do that, he's like, is he a ninja too, or is he a bad ninja?
Get the box, Wex.
All right, yeah, I'm getting it.
Yeah, that's me. That's my turn.
Okay, cool. And I have so we're at 2 entropy now, which doesn't really affect too much because it's just basically the oracle rolls. For us, I will need to add a clarifying statement, because obviously this is not going to make like the NPCs suffer penalties for that. Claim this slot though, and yeah, Wex is going to. I'm going to go for the box. Wex is gonna do what Master Ninja is telling him to do. Yeah. So I think I'm gonna send Pengi for the box though, or maybe actually let me check my talents because I forget how because I can spend a maneuver, right, to
for animal companion.
It's like a first rank animal companion, so I can spend a maneuver to give it an action, to give Pengi an action and a maneuver. Is that how that works?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Well, Wex is gonna. So I'm gonna spend a maneuver to engage with the box, and oh man, yeah, I can't spend another. The question is like, do I command Pengi or do I just grab the box with the second maneuver?
Oh wait, I don't have a rank in bending. What am I thinking?
Guess you spent a story point then.
Guess I did.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, I'll update that real quick. Wait, I thought you did have a rank in bending because you were.
No, I bought the
you're a
bender.
metalbender.
I bought the bender talent.
Oh, I see. So you have access to bending. You just don't have any skill in it, though.
Right.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I do have it because my
Okay.
quick draw talent was free.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you rolled from the skill thing, so like.
Yeah, it's fine.
You must have had a rank because like your experience added up fine when I ported it over into Foundry. Yeah, so Wex can't. I can't tell Pengi. I can't command Pengi and grab the box. But I mean,
You can
I think
if you take strain.
no, because I mean, it's gonna be 2 maneuvers for me to pick up the box, right? One to engage, and then another maneuver to like grab it.
Yeah, I guess that's what. Yeah, that makes sense. That's
so
what
I
we've been
went-
rolling.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to like spend yet another maneuver to like command Pengi to do anything.
Oh,
which is
I see what
fine.
you're saying.
Yeah, so I think Wex runs over, scampers over, grabs the box, and now has possession of the box though.
What? Not to like backtrack a little, but what if you used your maneuver to give Pengi his maneuver in action, and then Pengi uses 2 maneuvers to get the box, and then you still have your action?
That makes a lot of sense, actually. You're right. Yeah, that's
me. I'm min-maxing Genesys right now. Come on.
It's full tactical Genesis. That's what the UPG is actually all about.
Oh, jeez.
That does make sense because I do think like Pengi would rely, or Wex would rely on Pengi to like do this type of thing.
Do this, yeah. Why not?
So yeah, Pengi runs over. So I spend a maneuver. Pengi runs over. Pengi's already a little hurt though, but Pengi's gonna spend a second maneuver.
Gaia yells, "Wex, get the box." Wex yells, "Pengi, get the box."
Pengi, get the box.
yeah, exactly. And then, Pengi spent a second maneuver to grab the box, and Pengi, the little monkey fish is like holding the box up and like running back towards Wex at this point. Wex, though, I am going to spend my action then, to make a bending check, because Wex is an airbender.
Are bending attacks able to hurt spirits?
Yes. Okay. Fully.
Okay, cool. I need to open this document because
attack?
Yeah, I don't know what the attack things for airbending are.
Oh, okay. Well, if it's a melee, if you're engaged, it's gonna be considered a melee bending attack. So you'll use brawn.
I'm at
okay, so it'll be a range bending
short.
attack. So it'll be used agility instead.
Okay.
There is an ally engaged with your target.
Yeah.
So
where
you'll need to
can-
upgrade the difficulty.
I don't think that Wex would like attack. If there's like a curse equivalent, I'm just trying to open up.
Oh. Fancy.
Yeah.
Second aged.
There is a curse equivalent. I
Okay.
call it afflict in Avatar, since cursing doesn't really
Right.
vibe.
Where is that in?
You want
Bending
page
arts. There we go.
45, 46 in the 48 in the PDF reader, 45 on the footer.
Okay. Afflict. Yes, perfect. And okay, awesome. So yeah, it is an average. This is just average cunning, I guess. Then right?
Cunning.
Yeah. So is there? So bending arts. Oh, there's no way to like recouple.
No,
right,
I really wish there was a way to recouple skills, Assembly Kings. That would be super cool. But I understand you're really busy, and like this has been a lot of hard work. I get it.
No, I think that is actually on the roadmap, like in the near.
Oh, that would be sick.
Is to recouple skills.
All I did was click bending arts, and then add the appropriate greens and yellows from there.
Yeah. Well, and I don't actually have any ranks in bending arts either, so I'm just going fully with raw potential here. So it is an average. Yeah, average check. Your character selects one target within short range, and then makes a bending earth skill check. If successful until the end of the character's next turn, the target decreases the ability of any skill checks they make by 1. Do I want to add anything to it? I don't know.
Is there's anything to like immobilize it?
Ooh, yeah. Well, there's slowed, yeah. That adds 2 difficulty, though. That is a very tough check for me.
I just suggest it because, like, otherwise it's just going to keep going after the box.
Yeah. Well,
What's the question? I'm so sorry.
Is there a way to, like, is there a slow or a route or something, an immobilize? And there's a slow that I could do.
Yeah.
Because it would add 2 difficult. It would make it a 4 or a daunting.
We still have a story point.
Yeah, that's true. And I think this is like a high stress situation, and Wex is like really trying to impress Ligaya with his potential to be a ninja. So I'm gonna spend the last story point we have. So it's now all in the GM story point. So we should start having the system start using story points. And I'm gonna add 2 of these and an upgrade.
I was gonna say, I think a GM would, a diligent GM would absolutely upgrade the difficulty of your check here.
I agree.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The evil GM would definitely do that.
All right, so we are back to 3 and 1 though on our side, and yeah, I think that's it. There's no I don't have any talents that do anything special for bending. Nope, because I'm a super newbie character. Here we go, and it takes 2 strain, right? It's a standard magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, standard magic. Otherwise,
cool. 2 successes. 2 threat.
So
does
bending also use the magic tables of threats and despairs are worse than normal?
Yeah, worse than normal.
All right, 2 threats.
Okay.
That's kind of juicy.
So we generate a threat. We are at 3 entropy now, though, too. 3 entropy immediately or as soon as possible. Flip a GM story point to cause an effect, as usual. So that will happen. On the Dark Spirit's turn, which is next anyway. So that works perfect. Works out perfectly.
2 threats.
That's enough to delay the effect.
It's enough to. One of the suggestions on page 27 of Avatar: The Second Age, TM, is a gust for each element. Right there's a suggestion, and for wind, air, it is a gust blows an object to a farther range.
Oh, okay, yeah. I love that. Yeah, no, I think that's perfect. So,
Is Pengy still attached to it?
Yeah, and see, I don't think it doesn't knock it out of Pengy's hand, but it does knock Pengy and the object basically into the and I think we can spend this. No, we don't need to spend a sword. We can spend a threat. Yeah, for Pengy and the chest to be like basically into engaged with the dark spirit.
Okay, that's also engaged with me. That's all right.
Yeah, it is a very scary situation there. Okay, so so they have to spend an extra maneuver. So I'm just putting the lose maneuver status on them. Yeah. So yeah, as this thing is just like buffeted by wind as Wex focuses his effort into moving the very air around the room, and it works as the thing is like hunkering down.
Yeah.
But then yeah, you just see like Pengy, you see the box itself pick up because it also is being pulled towards the dark spirit, right? So at that
Pengy's a monkey fish, right?
Yeah.
What does that look like? Like, is he mostly mammal or is he?
He's got some
Piscine?
fins too.
He's got like a little fins, but he's got legs. He's sort of like a little slimy, but also has like a monkey face. Let me
Okay.
I can bring up the.
He's kind of like surfing in the tornado-y whirlwind.
Would his fins be like little sails and like carry him away? Is that part of the fiction?
Actually, I love that. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So with the combination of the wind and the box pulling itself towards the dark spirit, and Pengy having effectively sails just physiologically attached to his body, picks Pengy up, and we just see Pengy, like, his little feet dangling and flopping in the air as he just sort of, like, hovers over right next to the dark spirit. And... yeah, Wex just shouts back, like, I'm helping! And that's my turn.
Okay, so... you included the immobilizing feature, right?
Yeah, so it is immobilized. Or it's not they have to spend 2 maneuvers to advance a range band.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, you did slowed.
Slowed. Yeah, there's no immobilized per se.
Okay.
No.
All right, so something happened with, like, the tracker, though, right?
Yeah, so now we need to spend a system story point as soon as possible to do something. We are in Act 1 right now, though, so I'm just going to draw our attention to the system moveset. And...
What page is that?
It is... I'm finding the page right now. It is 43. Yeah, I think the table and the PDF are aligned now. Okay. But just to be safe, yeah, we can work off of the PDF. So a character, object, or environment performs in a way seemingly contrary to expectations. A heroic ally may run away, gravity may increase substantially for a moment, or a weapon may fail to work on a target or may be effective far beyond its design.
I do not see what you are reading.
Under Act 1, system moves.
Under story points?
Oh, I'm looking at despair. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. Generate an area relevant to the PCs that is guarded, used, occupied, or otherwise attended by a rival adversary. Also generate or select the adversary and roll each of the NPC tables for them as applicable. Or an NPC receives boosts on checks they make for the remainder of the encounter. However, they reveal a flaw or fear in doing so.
So this could potentially introduce an additional adversary?
It could, is what I'm reading.
Yeah, so we could spend an additional area and adversary. Or I actually like the option of having the adversary receive a boost on the checks they make, but then also reveal a flaw or fear, specifically a fear. Like maybe there's something that this dark spirit, because dark spirits in the Avatar lore, dark spirits are basically normal spirits that have just been overtaken by dark emotions.
Yeah.
I think that
I like the idea of fear here.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and also it'll take a bit of time to generate a whole new area and adversary. So cool. All right, let's do that. So let's so I'll flip the story point. We're at 2 and 2. Get one back. That's great. And yeah, what is the 19 motivations? Actually, that might be a typo.
Do you just roll on like the Genesys D100 table for the motivations, or?
No. So table 19, there is a D10 table with different motivations that we can just pull from for NPCs.
Oh, those are the same ones from the.
Oh, they are.
Though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are they the same?
So either or. I mean, that's the intent, really.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Were those the same ones that we should change those or update them maybe to like a bigger set? Cause that's a good opportunity to expand the motivations a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Maybe later after it's published. I have to like rasterize every. This was a very quickly put together PDF. But let's just do roll a D10 for.
Oh yeah, I couldn't control F, but yeah, you already talked about it.
So the page that it's on is 36 of the PDF.
36 in the PDF page counter. 32 on the page number.
Yes. So.
All right, I rolled a 3.
Yeah, so fear of death.
Death, demise, self-destruction.
Yeah. Well, maybe because fear of its own death is like sure, of course, but
that's how I feel with any NPC when I roll death on their motivation. Like, well, duh. Like who?
Yeah.
Duh.
but maybe you're afraid of causing death. Like.
You know what? I've never thought about that.
Okay.
Like, you only want to subdue your enemies. You don't actually want to like do permanent harm to them.
Well,
I like that.
Maybe also causing death, but causing death to wildlife because it's a spirit, right? So
it is a spirit.
Pengy's
right
exactly.
There.
So when Pengy slams into this spirit with the box and just goes limp for a second, and I think we see the dark spirit react in a protective, almost guarding way. That is just totally at odds with
I like that.
Our experience otherwise. It's very clear that the dark spirit feels protective of Pengy. Doesn't give a shit about us, but Pengy.
It is the spirit's turn, right?
It is the spirit's turn, yes.
So what is it going to do to protect Pengy?
Yeah. What do we think?
And also, does it want to shift any of its things?
Oh yeah, it may shift. That one's kind of hard to account for with the unmastered play guide, I will admit.
Well, no, because one of the random structured moves it can do is like a supporting thing.
Oh, okay.
Like so, there's like they're kept relatively abstract, so like I think that shifting would fall into it.
Okay, we could roll to see what the prompts are, and then like interpret it based on what we know about it wanting to be protective of Pengy.
Yeah, we could. We absolutely could. My my gut's telling me that it would shift into defense. Because you've just attacked it, Ligaya, and Wex is now sort of like immobilizing it, and now its focus has shifted from like hurting you or engaging you to Pengi. So I just imagine of these three, it would be like, I don't care about movement. I need to make sure that if I'm attacked again, you generate threats.
I was going to say that it should shift. I was going to say it could shift to yeah, I guess shift to defense. Because that's just a form. But I don't think I think it would phase shift.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Wait, so how does that play with the fact that your wind is supposed to be making it hard for it to move?
Yeah. I think the
wind just completely bypass it.
I think so.
I guess it. I guess it.
I mean, it's a spirit. You know, it's looking at the way slowed is written as well. Like it has to spend an extra maneuver to advance a range band. So that intent is like using your normal move maneuvers, but the phase shift is specifically an ability that is not a normal move maneuver.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
I mean that's my interpretation argument, but like
I think it would make sense.
We could do it anyway
because it's being like buffeted by winds, right? That's what's happening. So like, I do think that it would make sense for it to need to spend a maneuver rather than an incidental to phase shift.
I think that works. It still gets the benefit of like being elsewhere. It's just
it's still getting it, but it's
upgrade a little bit of action economy.
Yeah. Because what I'm thinking...
But if it wants the box, I feel like it needs to make a coordination check to grab like Pengi in the box from out of this like whirlwind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking though is it's not grabbing the box actually, because it's afraid about Pengi. So what it's doing is it's phase shifting to bring Pengi to safety, not.
But it needs to actually.
But it's going to engage.
Pengi.
Yeah, it's going to snatch at Pengi. So.
And I feel like that needs a check, given that there's this tornado going on.
Yeah.
So
I think it would be an action. So I think it would be an action to grab Pengi and then a maneuver to do the phase shift, which is typically an incidental.
Okay.
So
that sounds fine to me.
Yeah. So I think that we see the it gets a boost because it gets the boost from the on its checks going forward. But it's gonna try and grab Pengi. I guess it would be an opposed check again.
I think it's coordination.
Yeah, coordination against probably I think just both coordination really. Or athletics.
Opposed? What's the NPC opposing?
Pengi's coordination because he's trying to grab Pengi.
Oh, he's trying. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think a opposed coordination check makes sense. It just so happens that it works out really well because Pengi has incredibly good coordination, being a monkey
the dark
and
spirit
a fish.
Has pretty good also.
Yeah, that's true. The dark spirit does have really good coordination too. But Pengi will make it a 3 purples and a red.
Oh, whoa! What the hell?
Yeah,
versus
Pengi's
2 yellows and 2 greens.
Yeah, it's actually a
slippery.
It's a pretty close fight. Yeah, that's like Pengi is like not good at many things, but like navigating and being coordinated and slimy and slippery, Pengi is very good at. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to see if any of Pengi's abilities come into here. Pengi can distract as a maneuver, but that's it. Okay, cool. So here we go. Opposed coordination checks from the civilized dark spirits. As it just like gropes for Pengi, with the wind buffeting it down and like nearly pinning the spirit down. Pengi, slimy little monkey creature that Pengi is able to like slither through the dark spirits' ephemeral grabbers. But
it still shifts away,
though. Yeah, I don't think it would shift away at that point, right? Because that's the whole thing is it's trying to like protect Pengi right now because it thought that.
So 3 advantages. It could make Pengi drop the box if that is a benefit to it.
Yeah, make an opponent drop a thing.
Yeah, I don't know that that would help, but practically speaking, it wants Pengy to keep the box. Like, Pengy keeping the box is helpful for the Dark Spirit for its
Even though
goals
Pengy...
right now. Well, maybe, but it does put Pengy in danger, right?
Pengy's in danger by virtue of being in this room.
Virtue of hanging out with humans.
It's true. I think that yeah, I think I mean I think that I would agree that 3 advantage, like, actually Pengy dropping the box suits the immediate motivations of the Dark Spirit, and that it removes Pengy from more danger.
He goes flying in the whirlwind and eventually sails his way back to your shoulder. Maybe.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I think it's 2 advantage is the dropping an item, right? Or is 3 advantage dropping?
That's 3.
It's fully 3.
That's 3, yeah.
So yeah, I think why don't we do that? Say that Pengy drops the box.
Just like I've been down this rodeo, I know this one.
the box is back on the ground.
It's one we do all the time. Like, we
It's
roll
super
3
useful.
and we're like,
Oh, you drop it.
them.
They drop the thing. Yeah, it's the hot potato structured encounter.
I'm sorry to derail. I made a friend when I was running drop their like battle axe. They were a 1-trick pony, right? They built their character for combat, and they were in combat and they swung and 3 threat. And I was like, okay, you drop your axe. And they got so mad they had to spend their like maneuver on the next turn, pick it up, and then they rolled it again, dropped it again. I was like, you fumble.
Just
so annoying.
Straight butterfingers. We could also like. I would almost say like 2 drops. I would damage the weapon maybe at that point after like continuing to drop it.
I think we had a situation like that too, and eventually, we switched from dropping it to being like, okay, no, we're just gonna break it.
Would you have it at least? It just isn't as effective now. But okay, so I think in this situation, so yeah, Pengy slithers away from the Dark Spirit, but then like you see the box sort of slide out of Pengy's hands as well and tumble back to the ground. It is PC Slot who would like to claim the first turn.
Except the spirit didn't do a maneuver; it only did an action.
Oh, you're right. Yes. So the spirit, I mean, it will take 2 maneuvers for the spirit to engage with the box, though. So the spirit can't engage with that box.
Well, if the spirit is still in movement form, or did we agree that he
defense form? I think the spirit
the spirit did switch to defense. Okay,
I think so. I think that would make sense that the spirit would switch into like
considering it was
guardian
attacked.
mode.
Yeah, I agree.
What is the spirit's? Is it spirit's attack or range attack, or is it? No, it's engaged.
Yeah, it's not a very fleshed out adversary block. I'm sorry.
No, I think this is a good adversary block. I think, especially when you include the swarm rule that is applied to all of the Dark Spirits. Like, it's got a lot going on with it.
Yeah.
But I think that the Dark Spirit takes it goes into defensive mode, actually.
Defensive stance?
Yeah, defensive stance. So it's gonna add the setback, and then also anything attacking gets the setback or gets the defense bonus.
What? It hasn't used a. Oh yeah, defensive. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So then it's not like doing the second maneuver. So like that, I think that makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense.
See. But that is the Dark Spirit's turn. I'll add the thing on it. here in a second. Who
So
would
now
like
we
to claim
fight
the
over who
PC
gets to
spot?
go next.
Yeah. You guys can choose between either of you while I like get the effects all set up.
I mean, Rumi and I both want the box.
Oh,
I want
perfect,
the box. Yeah, and it really comes down to whoever gets it first. I want the box. I'm getting up. I'm claiming that slot.
I want the box. Oh no! I want it.
You were too slow. You were too slow, Jen.
Oh, because I don't know how to click in this thing.
I got you.
This is the tactical PvP that Genesys is known for.
So Rumi on the ground now. I will. I have access to my maneuverability through use of my metal whip, and in using it, he's running. Sorry, I forgot I'm on push to talk. He's running up.
Oh.
He jumps up on the. Sorry, he jumps up on like one of the spirit vines. Does like a little Naruto run, and then like throws his whip up onto to grab onto a rafter or a catwalk or something above, and then kind of swings back over to the area. Not like a chandelier swing, but more of like he's just using the whip and for like a fulcrum, like momentum, a little bit of leverage as he runs along one of the big vines that's like curving through the space or whatever. That's how I'm envisioning it anyway. So I'm using my maneuver to engage the box, and then I'm going to use my action to pick up the box as I'm going to downgrade my action to a maneuver and pick up the box. That's what I want to happen. There's nothing impeding me, is there? Since I've overcome the difficult terrain.
Yeah, there's no difficult terrain. There's nothing. Nothing is engaged with the box right now. So yeah, the box went from Ligaya to the Dark Spirit to Pengi, now to the floor.
Now to Rumi.
And now Rumi swings in and grabs the box. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
All right. Let me
like
say this is what I want to do.
Okay.
If you're done with your...
That is it. Yep, that's it. I was
Okay.
going to say something quippy, but I couldn't think of anything.
I want to double maneuver to crash into Rumi. And then I want a skullduggery.
What the hell?
To swipe the seal outside the box. Like...
From the box.
Pickpocket the box. So I'll take 2 strain because I'm going to double maneuver and do an action. And then I'm going to use my street life and my deft hands. So I think this is going against Rumi's vigilance.
I guess it is. Yeah.
So what's your vigilance?
My vigilance is 1 and 1. Red and purple for you. Sorry.
Okay. All right. Street life lets me add 2 successes and 2 threats.
Oh, you also have street. Nice.
I also am a rogue.
Oh, you're also a rogue. Excellent.
Deft hands lets me add an advantage. And then this is my skullduggery, which is 2 yellows and a green.
Oh, you took deft hands. I'm glad to see it.
So,
I am
are we doing
a
an
beefy rogue.
Are we doing an opposed skullduggery check, or is this?
It's opposed by Rumi's vigilance.
Vigilance.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's what I thought. That makes sense. Okay, perfect.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. Ooh.
No way!
Oh, yes!
Success, threat, and despair. All right, I get the seal without being noticed. Right? That's what a successful pickpocket is.
Yeah. That's you get. Yeah, you're able to slip the seal out of the box, I think.
Yeah, you get the seal unnoticed.
Okay, despair. I'm going to pose this as a possibility. There's like some sort of crazy spiritual thing associated with this box. Like these vines are going after it for a reason.
Yes.
So I'm going to propose a critical injury. Like something like touching the box this way, like opening it and going after what's inside of it, something spiritual-ish happens that causes damage to me.
Oh.
I like that. Yeah, I think.
Yeah,
well, I think
I like
maybe
that a lot.
I think that maybe the vines now are actually going after the box at the same time. Finally, like the vines are finally entering into the.
Are we adding
melee.
vines as like
I don't think
an
like
NPC?
as like I don't think it's an adversary or anything. But I think that like they're and maybe like the vines just sort of like snap at you while you're doing the skullduggery with the box.
Yeah, this despair wakes up the vines, and maybe moving forward we can use extra threat as like vines hurting us or something.
Damage.
Yeah, environmental
Ooh.
damage.
Yeah, I like that.
How do I roll?
Man, I love Genesys.
Yeah, maybe. Well, okay. How about this? So yeah, we do the despair act triggers the vines, and they inflict a critical as they awaken. But now 2 threat can be spent to cause a wound, just from the flailing.
I like that.
vines,
I like that a
spirit
lot.
vines.
Yeah.
How do I roll non-Genesis dice?
Go. Oh, are you trying to roll a crit?
Yeah.
Go to. I'll just roll the crit for you if you don't.
Oh wait, no. There's a table for this.
Yeah, there's a macro that is there.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think you should have the You can probably pull the macro up.
We
from
have
your own
access
thing.
to macros. Yes, if you.
Yeah, so if you that little folder on the bottom by your hotbar, browse macro directory, and then there is the.
She got it.
Oh, nice, cool, perfect. And I think it did automatically
Intellect
add
and
it.
cunning, headringer.
Let's see.
Oh, no,
it didn't
I-
apply it,
You
but-
are cunning.
Good thing I just used my skullduggery.
There we go. I just added
Ooh,
it to your
headring.
sheet, so it should.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah,
I see it.
It should be there now.
So I get slapped in the head by vines.
Nice.
It's like right in
Nice.
the ear or something. Like you just get like the whip crack of a spirit vine.
And then I also had one threat, which I can just take as strain unless there's something that a table says is more interesting. Like the table that we used to set up the game. Might as well use this UPG.
Yeah. What were the threat spends for that?
Brought one range band closer to dangerous portion. Immobilized under the effect. Get dinged. I'm just looking at feature result spend tables 12A through J.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Lose your free maneuver. You've already done your maneuvers though, so.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, with the threat, so we have that advantageous portion, the catwalks and everything. The very first use of the advantageous portion by an ally cannot make use of the corresponding advantage. So maybe the catwalks, like, they start to also bend and sag under the weight of the vines that are now writhing. And when you land on them, you don't get like a boost from having a height advantage or anything on range attacks.
Because they've now collapsed some.
Yeah, exactly. So like you'll need to like reposition yourself and spend a maneuver at least or something, but it's no longer a freebie. Cool.
So as far as Rumi knows, you have the box and whatever was in it. But as far as Ligaya knows she's got the seal stuffed inside her jacket.
I say something like, "What are you doing? Get off!" You...
These vines!
Yeah, we got bigger problems to worry about.
Yeah, the question is, does Wex notice that you got the seal out? And I don't think Wex does. So...
No, I wouldn't think so either.
So I think Wex is gonna try and help Ligaya with Rumi now, though.
You could always spend advantage later, though, to say that you do notice some weird details.
True. Also, I need to upgrade the entropy because we generated entropy again. So we're at 4 entropy right now.
What is the next danger line with entropy?
4 entropy is adds a new effect. So we now add setbacks to all oracle rolls and all NPC table rolls, and scene complications gain an additional difficulty die, and area feature rolls are upgraded twice in difficulty. So it just biases things against us quite a bit. So, but nothing in the immediate situation though. Yeah. So Wex is going to I'm going to spend a maneuver to tell Pengi to get after that box. And Pengi is going to distract with mischievous Rumi. Oh, I need to change the wording on this because mischievous still has fire parent in it. Yeah, because I think from Wex's perspective, you're like another entity. You're the same as the dark spirit.
As far as Wex knows,
your push to talk isn't on. So.
Oh no. I was gonna say, as far as Wex knows, I'm an adversary. I'm an NPC.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna spend a maneuver to do that. So Pengi is then going to spend a maneuver, or not a maneuver, an action. No, just as a maneuver, because mischievous is that. So a maneuver to distract one character short range. So you add, so Rumi's just distracted.
I'm just distracted. Thank you, Pengi. Thank you.
Let me add a setback too, so you know that you have that, and Pengi's gonna spend his second his action to drop it down to a maneuver and just get into engaged with Rumi, so Pengi can make a grab at the box. I like how right now the dark spirit hasn't gone, and since the dark spirit went and did not go after the box for a turn, now we're all attacking Rumi.
It's just like a game of rugby here.
Yeah.
It really does feel like that.
And then Wex is going to make a, let me see, I think that probably another airbending check, yeah.
Are you
I need to concentrate, yeah, so I was going to spend a maneuver so I'm going to take 2 strain.
I did not concentrate, so my Metal Whip maneuverability is gone.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, so Wex is going to take 2 strain to maintain concentration, and then... What can I do with air? I think...
You could also use the suction airbending maneuver.
Don't you have to learn the? Is that
you just know
form?
It? You're an airbender.
Oh, that's not a master form. That's a basic form.
No, yeah. So it's kind of like it's like how spellcasters in Genesys have access to the concentrate and counter spell maneuvers by default. Mm-hmm. Each element in Avatar has access to a special maneuver as well by default. So everybody gets their manipulate of their own element, which kind of has some mechanical detail, but not really. It's just suffer strain in narrative to do the thing that you want to do that's minor or whatever. But airbenders get suction specifically. So you can spend 2 strain to grab something within short range, unless it's being held by somebody and that somebody is unwilling. Then you have to do an opposed
Athletics. Check. Yeah, so I'm gonna that awesome. So I'm gonna actually drop my concentration on the dark spirits, which may not be the most sound. Actually, that still has that, but it gets its maneuver back. The heck. There we go. And yeah, do suction. So it will be on the chest. So Rumi will be making the check in this situation, right?
You're making the check, but it's opposed.
You're making the. I wrote this incorrectly. Let's just say opposed bending arts versus athletics.
Oh, okay. So it still stays
not athletics versus bending arts. Yeah, the active character. Yeah, it stays with the active character. I just wrote it backwards. My bad.
Cool. That makes sense. All right.
Taking a note.
Bending arts. Is it just willpower? I guess it's just the basic.
Yeah, if it doesn't list anything, it's willpower by default.
Cool. What is your athletics check or athletics?
Great. This is the second roll against Rumi, I want to say, tonight. Feeling very
attacked.
You
showed up and started ordering us around.
You can't be here.
Rumi's been attacked more than the dark spirit at this point.
For you.
Sorry?
2 purple.
2 purple? Oh, just 2 purple? Okay, cool. Perfect. And
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Okay, cool. There we go. Failure. So yeah, the Rumi's able to keep hold of it as the wind starts. There's like a deep inhale almost as the wind tries to wrench the chest out of your hands. But with a 3 advantage. Is there like a special like advantage spending thing for bending?
For bending?
Yeah.
There is, I believe, un momento. Yes. So again, page 27 in the PDF page 27 or 29, book page 27, table 2-4, spending advantage on bending art skill checks.
Awesome. Okay.
So you could spend that 2 advantage to sustain the form that you didn't concentrate on yet, because the effect doesn't end until the end of your turn.
Sustain the bending form through cons. Oh, nice.
Yeah, without the maneuver.
That's 2 advantage. Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll do that, and then I'm going to recover strain from previously though. Also, so
yeah, and then you'll suffer 2 strain from this bending maneuver, bending arts,
which I already added the 2 strain. So I'm at 3 strain now. But I maintain the effect on the dark spirit.
Very nice.
Cool. And we are back to the dark spirit's turn.
All right, I'm gonna take a quick bio break at this juncture here, but I'll continue listening.
Okay. Yeah, I mean at this point, like, why don't we just have roll on the table?
Yeah. The seal and the box are now separate from each other, so we need the table.
Right. And we can see if the seal
there's
or the
no
box
animals.
is important to him.
Yeah, there's no animals in immediate danger.
Well, no. Now Pengi is engaged with Rumi, and Rumi seems to be a threat to Pengi. So we're now on Team Dark Spirit. We're all on the Dark Spirits team right now.
All right.
Let's
roll for its move.
Yeah, where is the...
This is 2 greens and a purple, but is there upgrades now? Because of the tracker?
Yeah, there is, right? So with the... It's roll... doesn't make much sense, though, so I'll have to change that. Technically, it says to add a setback, but given that this is... for the benefit of the NPC, I think add a boost instead on...
Okay. So 2 greens, a purple, and a boost.
Yeah.
Result, 2 successes, 2 advantages. 2 successes, 2 advantages. The NPC makes a strategic aggressive action, selecting an action with the highest likelihood of adding conditions or the equivalent of such. And the 2 advantages, NPC advances to an advantageous position such that they gain a boon of some sort on attacks.
Oh, well, they have the advantageous position, but I don't know.
They're stuck in a... I guess they would teleport. They would shift away from their tornado at this point.
But it would cost a maneuver to do that because of the buffeting winds.
We should maybe roll on some sort of oracle to like get an idea of what's truly important to the spirit.
Yeah, we can do that.
Hello.
There is... Hey.
Do we perhaps want to figure out what the spirit's desire is?
What it's...
Is that necessary?
I don't know that the desire will help, because we're trying to figure out whether... Ultimately, we're trying to figure out, like, is it the box or the seal that the dark spirit's after, right? So,
we could always refer this to the yes/no oracle. Yeah, one of those basics.
Yeah, why don't we go to the basic oracle and
Where is that? Does that get special things added to it because of the tracker?
It does. In fact, it gets a setback added because it's an oracle roll. So the question is that it's sort of hard to phrase this, in a way that, like, because it's not a yes/no question. It's like a
Oh, we simply ask, does it care about the seal?
There we go. Okay, yeah.
That's a yes/no question.
Yes. Does it care about the seal? Add, okay, cool. So, here, I will set that up. So, it is purple and a green, and it gets a setback. And here we go.
So, what table are you, like, where in the...
Oh, sorry, this is table 21, the binary question table. It's 34 in the PDF.
Page 34. On the page numbers.
Yeah. Footer page 34 or 38 in the PDF.
So it was a green and purple is basic, but you had to add a setback die because of the tracker.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. Nice.
And it generated a threat. And that's it. So it's a failure with a threat. So it's no and. So the seal is not important. It's the box that the dark spirit's after. And I don't know what that and would be. Why don't we use a action question or maybe a detail question? No, let's do an action question because that can maybe.
Does that also get? That also gets a setback added.
Yeah, that's also another oracle, so it gets a setback added. Well, it doesn't get setback added. Sorry, because that's a card draw. So that is table 23, the action question. This is one thing that I actually still don't really know how to resolve, is how to, like, add negatives to the card draw oracles, but that's a thing.
I don't know that you necessarily need to. They're doing different things than like the orthogonal oracles.
Exactly, and I have avoided it by telling myself that. So
yeah, they're just there to give you like. They're just there to give you, like, details and words and, like, flavor. I guess context. They're, like, context oracles. Whereas, like, these other ones are more, like,
so I'm
outcomes. I don't know.
Drawing on that right now, and I drew a 5 of clubs. Physical strong constructed. Move. Physical strong constructed. So yes... or no, and so no, it doesn't care about the seal, and
okay. We already have vines that are already moving. They've already started pulling down scaffolding. Like they're already active now as an environmental threat. Does it like move more vines towards Rumi? Like Rumi's got the box. It does not care about the seal.
Makes sense.
It really wants the box.
Yeah. I think it was towards Rumi. I was going to say, though, actually, I was going to interpret that. So maybe the box is because we have the spirit vines here. The spirit wilds are in a totally different part of town. Maybe the box is associated with moving the spirit wilds, actually. That's what the and is. So this is perhaps another quest down the line or something, or
yeah, no, he's not after the seal, and the box is more than what it seems.
Yeah, like the box is like a spirit TARDIS, basically.
Yeah, sure. That's all right. Spirit TARDIS.
It can move. It can move. It can move spirit wilds inside it. Okay, cool.
So would you say that it's some sort of piece of technology that? What is the thing that Wex wants to stop getting leaked?
Maybe it's related to
yeah, like now we have essentially we have two important artifacts here. We have one that's like doing these crazy spirit manipulations, and we have another that is a tool of political power.
I love it.
And both of them, like Ligaya is thinking like, oh, this seal is what I'm supposed to pick up and deliver. Who cares about the box? But it turns out both things were the delivery.
Yes, I want this. I want to do this. I like this. There's a bunch of reasons that this is awesome, because this also coincides in time with what's his face starting to look into spirit vines and spirit technology. Right? You know what I'm talking about, Evan?
This is a later season thing.
Oh, you're talking about Varric?
Varric.
Yeah.
Varric is all. I think Varric. You've met Varric already in season. Well, Varric is in season 2, right? So you might not.
I think
have
he shows up in season 1.
Maybe he does. He shows up pretty early, but he's like He's like a crazy inventor guy that's like interested in all sorts of weird, kooky stuff, including spirit stuff too. So I think that's actually is really appropriate. That this box is a merging of technology and spirit, and it somehow involves.
Nope, never mind. First episode of season 2.
Okay, well, if you're just in season 2, you have met Varric. Who's his voice actor? It's like it's someone famous, isn't it? It doesn't matter.
John Michael Higgins.
Oh, really? Okay, I don't know who that person is. So maybe I'm just ignorant of voice actors, though. But okay,
That's
I'm gonna.
You'd recognize him if you saw him and heard him.
I'm gonna update Wex's thing, though.
Yeah, that guy. Okay, yeah. He's in a lot of mockumentaries.
Oh, is he? Oh. He does look familiar. He's definitely.
Have you ever seen A Mighty Wind?
No.
Okay.
Is he like a character actor though? Yeah, this doesn't matter. Okay. So,
yeah, kind of. All right.
Sorry.
But I'm just updating the campaign goal for Wex. The fancy chest is some sort of combination of spirit, matter, and technology, and is related to Wex's family secret. Updating that. I'm just adding another note into the tracking sheet. Okay. But with all of that said, what this all boils down to is the dark spirit, I think, is going to go after Rumi. But what do we say? That they are doing something strategic, though. It's not necessarily a direct attack, right?
So they had assumed a guarded stance, and they had previously adjusted to defense form. It sounds like now they may be switching to combat form.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Are you telling me we get to see his final form?
Maybe. We might be seeing Rumi's final form soon. Actually.
You also need to do something to actually get to Rumi.
Yeah?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm still in the same zone, so like they'd have to, they're still difficult terrain because you are concentrating on the air, so it's still difficult, like windy terrain.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not
now again, this spirit could just phase shift.
I think it would have to.
A maneuver, yeah. But I think that it could phase shift right into engaged. That it doesn't make sense.
Right into me. Oh yeah. Oh, why would absolutely.
So yeah, I think that like with like so Pengi is like scrabbling all over Rumi, and then and you're like probably trying to like slap Pengi off of you, not realizing that Ligaya stole the seal.
This is an exotic pet. You're not supposed to have these.
And then you hear like and then you hear like a poof sound or whatever as like the dark spirit just shows up right in your face, right in front of Rumi's face.
Oh shit! Oh no! Oh no!
So what was the roll for 2 successes, right? So
this music is good.
Okay, yeah. So the form shifted into combat. So the spirit is going to dark hand. It's just going to attack you.
Dark hand. Ah.
Yeah.
Why did I name it that? I don't know.
It refers to something, I think, right? In the
yeah, they do this. Yes, they basically claw at you with dark hands.
Yeah, no, but I thought there was like something actually called dark hand. I don't know. It is. Do you have any defense or anything?
I have one. No, I no def.
You're not pushing to talk.
No defense.
No defense. Okay, so just 2 purple. All right.
I'm in danger. Wow! Whoa! Whoa!
Ooh.
Yeah, 6 damage. So that's not too bad, right? Just
there's 3. So much for that leather jacket.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Could have been worse.
Yeah, nothing to spend on that. Cool. That's its turn though. Yeah, as Rumi, you are now in a bit of a pickle.
I'm happy to defer to one of you to take the next initiative slot. I don't want to hog it all by taking always the first.
So I think like Ligaya was kind of like whacked around by the vines and hit in the head. So like up to this point, she hasn't really said anything other than like, she's like head ringer.
Oh, yes.
But like,
I'm just imagining like we jump to like we see this scene with Rumi and then like the camera pans and we see like Ligaya in the background like wah wah, just like doing.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And there's not really anything she can do against that spirit. Like she saw her fans go like right through it. And she thinks she has everything she needs. I think what she's going to do, like, she's gonna tell Rumi, like, fine, take the box. Like, we don't need it. Wex, let's get out of here. We don't need anything else here at all.
So how inconspicuous.
And let's see. These scaffolding things that are getting pulled down by the vines, those are like on the edges of the room? Or are they kind of like overhead?
I think they're probably like I'd imagine. I mean, it's a warehouse, right? So there's got to be scaffolding like there's catwalks. So I would think that they're overhead too. I think that probably the accessible ones are just the ones like we put on like the edge. But yeah, like it would make sense for me for there to be catwalks everywhere.
Okay. So let me ask you all what you think would be required. I know I can't get around to it this turn because I need to do maneuvers and stuff. But I kind of want to drop a scaffolding onto the spirit. I understand that's a complicated thing, but structural integrity is already weakened. Like, I kind of feel like this is setting off like a trap in a way.
So what's Ligaya's approach to interacting with the environment to do this?
My approach would be like yanking on the selected vines that are wrapped around like the weakest looking things.
I was gonna say I think that this would be a player's story point to like declare that there's like
this opportunity exists.
This setup exists, but then it totally would make sense to me.
Yeah, my thinking exactly. Maybe like in athletics, if you want to use your physical strength to pull down, maybe you could make an attack against it if that's what you want to do to like further weaken the integrity.
Okay.
Yeah, or
like whatever else you may be thinking. If you have another stat you want to like throw at it.
Well, I can augment you, can't I? Don't I have some sort of augment as air?
Yes.
We often end up using either mechanics or skullduggery when we're doing like trap-based stuff, like setting them up or setting them off or things. But if you think this is more like blunt force, then I would be fine with athletics.
No, I think mechanics also fits here too, because you're tinkering with the catwalk, the scaffolding, and the industrial construction around us. Skullduggery is an interesting one, though. To me, it doesn't feel like you're, I don't know, like.
I guess I'm not setting anything up. I'm not setting anything up. I'm taking advantage of what's there.
It doesn't seem. There's not enough skullduggery happening.
I think I'll go with athletics then, of just like positively yanking on like the right vines to bring the thing down. But I'm not sure I can do that from where I'm located.
But I would say then I can augment you. If Ligaya indicates to Wex that like this is what she's doing, then I think it would make sense for Wex to like augment her check on it.
So maybe what we can do then, if we think that this is something that with 2 maneuvers I could get into position to do, since I spent a story point to say the opportunity exists, then we can say like narratively, Ligaya has made her statement of like, you take the box, we don't need it. Like, and she kind of like starts backing away, but she's like pointing up. I think in her head, like spirits don't pay attention to the natural world so much or like aren't smart or like she doesn't really know if they're like they would understand such things, but like so she's kind of like pointing up at like the scaffolding and she's like, we can just let this metalbender have the box for himself, and she's like pointing up at the scaffolding.
Metalbender.
Like, cause she assumes that like metal's not gonna like hurt a metal bender. Like if the scaffolding comes down on the spirit by you, like can't you just bend the metal away from yourself? Like, isn't that how it works?
You're immune to the element you bend. That's a fact.
That's how it works. That's why Zuko doesn't have a scar.
Yeah. It's why airbenders can't suffocate, actually.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's incredible. I do love that. I do feel like that as something like a non-bender in the like, especially like in the slums of Republic City would totally like that. That would be like a little factoid that just people know among.
They just this is everybody. Everybody knows this, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I'm suggesting here is I'm saying these things, but I'm not taking my turn yet. And I'm telegraphing all of this stuff to give you two the chance to either assist me with it or like back away if you think you can't, for example, take a metal scaffolding falling on your head. Because regardless of what order we go, we'll all go before the Dark Spirit does.
True.
Since my fans can't hurt the Dark Spirit, so I figure dropping a scaffolding on it might, I don't know.
Might do something.
Yeah.
I don't think Rumi would be I don't foresee, like, I just don't see Rumi like seeing your hints and being like, oh yeah, okay, let me pull this down on the spirit. I just got dark-handed through the chest with like but I like the idea. Wex, if you want to augment Ligaya, I think that works. I think
I think
good.
that like this would be an because what I'm imagining is more like well, I could just do control, right?
Control is good.
But and just like create like just wind just like pummels down on the scaffold to like drop it down. But
control is basically area, by the way.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I think. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Yeah, I think I can go ahead and I'll do control on that. Unless like would you rather Wex augment Ligaya for Ligaya to do?
I think it is completely I think it's completely fitting with Wex's character to be like, oh, she wants to drop the scaffolding. Okay. And you would do it yourself.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, that's true. Cool. So yeah, I'll claim this slot. I claimed it for Ligaya because I thought you were making you were about to go before, so I don't know how to unclaim the slot. I don't think I can.
I don't think it really matters.
Oh, actually,
yeah, it's okay.
I can. Cool. Well, it turns out I can't. You can just right-click it and revoke initiative claim, and then reclaim it. So
nice.
But it doesn't really make a difference. All right, cool. So yeah, I will do. Yeah, bending arts. This control is based off of intellect, so that's gonna be 2 for me.
And it's up to medium range, so you're good.
What in range? Yeah. And I'm going to flip a story point for this, but then I think GM will flip a story point too for it, just because this is a situation where someone could get squished.
Wex's airbending seems to come with GM story points.
Yeah.
I something's happening there.
Well, I actually like that too. Yeah, I think just because also for Rumi's metal bending, because we don't have any ranks in these skills, so I feel like there's an inherent additional danger too, just in bending without training. But okay, here we go.
Oof. Whoa! Hey!
Success, threat, and 2 threats and a triumph.
Okay,
awesome.
Maybe with a triumph, Rumi doesn't get squashed.
2 failure, 2 threats, and a triumph, though.
No, it's a success, 2 threats, and a triumph.
No, the success got. Oh no, it is. Wait.
Yeah.
Okay, the roll. The roll result is. I'm looking at the roll result and not seeing a success up there. I'm seeing the triumph symbol. And
oh, you're looking at the netted. Yeah.
I thought it was net. Yeah, my bad. So yeah, success.
Yeah. So yeah. Rumi does not get squished. Nor does Pengi. That is also very much a danger. Can
we say well, since Wex has taken it on himself to drop this scaffolding, and Ligaya was the one who suggested that this action happen. Maybe I can reach in and grab Rumi's arm or something and yank him out of the way in time. If the triumph is going to be to keep Rumi from getting squashed.
Yeah, I like that, and that also gives an opportunity to actually cohere
Interact.
the group. Yeah. Without us just playing rugby for the entire session. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah, so like, yeah, right. You hear like a loud thump as just an incredible, like a column of air forms and drops this scaffold down on top of the dark spirit.
So I would say so. Success. Yes, we haven't resolved the threat, and we should resolve that as well. And I was wondering if that doesn't make sense then or if it wouldn't make sense for the dark spirit to have grabbed the box. Ligaya got me and Pengy out of the way.
Yeah, it gets the box.
But it gets the box.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
I like that. No, yeah, not just that. So I think, because I think this should like conclude. I think this is a good spot to conclude the combat encounter too. So
yeah,
maybe not only
both sides have won something.
yeah. So not only does the dark spirit grab the box, the dark spirit grabs the box, and right as the scaffold is going to squish the dark spirit, they phase step away and just disappear with the box.
Curses.
But Rumi doesn't die. Doesn't die an incredibly gruesome death
pretty good.
that is not fitting for Avatar, except for maybe the live action in some really random scenes.
So I think like I grab like Rumi and yank him out of the way as the scaffolding goes down, and I'm just like, let it go. We've got what's important.
What are you talking about? That assailant has the box.
Who cares about the box? The contents are what's important.
Yeah, and they're in the box. That's the. Do you not know what a box is for?
When you say that, Wex actually speaks. He's like, I know exactly what boxes are for. My dad is a businessman. He ships boxes all the time, so I see them all the time. Is he one of your trainees? Because he's not very good at being a ninja, by the way.
How old is Ligaya?
She is like
visibly
teens, like 15 or 16.
Oh wow. Okay. So he's like, how old is Wex? He sounds young.
Yeah, Wex is like 12, 13. Wex is like Kids on Bikes Goonies age.
You're endangering this kid. He looks at snaps at Ligaya. Are you serious? I can't believe that you've endangered him.
Can we be like spilling out into the street at this point?
What are you two doing here?
I think at this point, like, the rest of the warehouse has begun to crumble under the vines, actually, and like we're not necessarily spilling into the street. The street is just spilling into us.
I think there's like a lot of pushback and yelling going on. Of like, I'm not responsible for that kid.
Who was that guy? What was it? And what was he doing with it? Did you see the way he like, and then he was here, and then he was there, and then he got away with the box.
Who are you? Why do you care about a stupid wooden box?
Yeah, I mean, also, it looked kind of to me like you let him get away with the box. I mean, you were the last person there with him, right?
I had him. I had him right where I wanted him, and then he got away.
I mean, I'm just saying, if this is your like training mission, this isn't really doesn't bode well for your ninja career.
And you guys, you guys see that I'm now that we're like in better lighting, I suppose. Something you couldn't tell in the darkness of the atmosphere of the scene. Rumi is wearing like one of those comic book eye masks, right? It's just covering his eyes, like Robin.
I actually really, I love that too, just because, like you're saying before, like, this era of Avatar in Republic City has that, like, hardcore, like 1920s Hong Kong sort of vibe to it, where, like, you have, like, the superheroes and those types of costumes, too. With just like
the golden age of superheroes right now.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
I think Ligaya is going to demand, like, what triad do you work for?
Me, triads? What triads do you work for? Look at the way you're all dressed, all skulking. And before you ask, I'm not telling you what's in the box or why I'm after the box. He folds his arm. Man, it's really hard to do push the talk and
Gestures.
like physical gestures. So he like folds his arms and he stands back all cocky, all confident, and an investigative detective never gives away his informant's name or identity. Now you two have some explaining to do.
So you're a government operative? Like you work for the cops?
I work with the cops.
Okay,
Sometimes.
well then why don't you come with us to Wex's dad and we can clear up this whole situation and get what's important back into the hands of where it belongs, right, Wex?
Who's your
Wink,
dad?
wink.
Who are you? What do you have to do with this?
Yeah, did Wex explain to Ligaya who his dad is, right?
Yes, we had
Okay.
talked about that being a route to get the seal back where it belonged.
Right,
like
yeah,
that your
okay.
dad knew people who it could get
Right.
delivered to.
Right, okay.
Of course, your dad doesn't know that you're out skulking around
Yeah,
warehouses
no,
in the
of course
middle of the
not.
night.
Yeah, so yeah, I think I think like when you ask that to Wax, he looks at Pengy and he's like, I thought they were both government ninjas, but now I'm not totally sure what's going on. But maybe we should go back home and ask my dad about this. Yeah, we can totally go to my dad's office. He'll know what to do. Also, I don't know what's happening in Twitch chat right now. Like, there's...
I'm gonna blame MelonLord.
Oh, whoa, hey. Oh, yay. This is, I told you, I shared it with a group, and they were doing something, and now they were watching Pirates of the Caribbean, and now they're here.
Oh, okay, cool. I figured that something was going on. I just, I'm keeping a side eye on it while we're RPing, and I'm like, I am so confused at what's happening. But yeah, I think, I think Wex is ready to lead. I think both Ligaya and Rumi back to Wex's place. Though this, I remember that. So we retroactively decided that this was happening at night. But now that I'm thinking about it, it might have made more sense for it to be happening during the day. But nevertheless, I think that
Flip our last player story point to say it was actually during the day.
That's fine with me. I am not partial to what time of day this was happening.
Yeah, no, well, I just think that, leading you guys back to Wex's house, it would make more sense during the day. That you wouldn't be going back to his home at, 3 in the morning or something.
Yeah. The warehouse was dark because it didn't have very many windows and the lights inside it were broken. So
Yeah, exactly. Okay, cool. So...
So that's the end of that scene.
That is the end of that
Yes, that's
scene.
the end of
so
that
are
scene.
we heading to Wex's dad? And this may also be a good place to call it because I'm getting very sleepy.
Okay, so that's fine.
Yep.
I think that also we made it so that 100% sets us in Act 2.
I think so. That was a good end of Act 1. And these acts don't have to be multi scenes. They could just be one scene per act.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Because I'm just sort of looking at the also the transition triggers are events start coming to a head,
which feels
So,
very relevant to us all sort of converging on this government seal.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. So I think that like
and once we start telling people like, oh, a bunch of vines attacked us, people who are in the know about vine mechanics, might take interest in what's going on.
Well, nobody's going to believe you anyway. Well, actually, that's not true. Everybody would probably believe you. They've seen the spirit vines taking over all of downtown Republic City. But nobody's going to... Don't tell anybody you saw me. And he like leans down over to you, Wex, like comes at eye level. You understand?
I don't understand anything about you at all. Actually, like I said, I thought you were a ninja in training, but now I'm beginning to suspect that was a lie. And that makes me think you might be a liar, sir. And there's one thing I don't abide, and that's liars. Because they make bad business partners. That's what my dad says.
I'm not a liar. I'm a vigilante.
Oh, that's what you meant when you said you worked with the cops?
Listen, sometimes you have to get your hands dirty because the cops are on the take. You know what I mean?
And these cops that are on the take wouldn't go after wooden boxes?
No. The Republic City police don't really seem interested in patrolling these parts of the city. Ever since the spirit vines took over, they just kind of let it fall to chaos. But people still live here. People still need somebody to protect them.
Well, if you want to protect them, then you should come with us and contribute your information.
Oh, listen, I don't know who your mom is, but we're going to have some stern words when we get a chance to talk to her because I was this close to that damn box and you let him get away. Who was that guy? Was he the triad you're working with?
Yeah, I mean, again, I really think that you are the one who let him get away. Like, you keep saying that we let him get away, but you were right there.
Until somebody brought the entire scaffolding and ceiling down on us.
Yeah, it was awesome. I'm sorry.
Because you had it so under control. Being punched with crazy hands that, like, go through your flesh. No one can stand up against that. Getting out of there was the best choice. Are you okay?
Rumi looks down at his chest and he's visible. He has 3 wounds, right? So he's visibly wounded. And that was kind of weird, actually. Was that a spirit? Not a guy?
That was definitely a spirit. My fans went right through it. And she takes her fan out and she snaps it again, but kind of stumbles as she does so because she's got the headbangers still. So she doesn't have the cuts that come from wounds, right. But she's unsteady on her feet.
I totally forgot this whole time Ligaya is actively dizzy right now.
All right, then we need to go get you patched up. Come on, there's a good healer in town. Really nice waterbender lady.
Yeah, and okay, so and why don't I think we close it there as we shift? At that point, we just see the 3 walking. We see Rumi leading the 3 of them and Pengi to this waterbender.
We have agreed to help each other in some fashion.
Yeah, we have a loose alliance that has formed. And let me update the tracker. Because
nice. This was a great party meet cute.
Yeah, I think this was this is a really cool Act 1 actually. I think this panned out really well. But yes, the Dark Spirit got away with the chest. I think that the warehouse basically I would say it's safe to say that the warehouse was fully consumed by the spirit vines.
Dilapidated.
Yeah. But no new characters yet. And then Act 2, here. let me just put this in the notes. Rumi showed up mid-fight. Oh my god. And after a bit of a scuffle, the dark spirit got away with the box. However, Ligaya managed to sneakily steal. And yeah, I guess only Ligaya knows that she has the seal, right?
Yeah. Nobody was picking up the hints she was putting down. Which, to be fair,
I 100% think we've lost it all.
I was trying to indicate to Wex that it was okay for us to go, but also I feel like, I mean, she already had the head ringer by that point. Like,
yeah, I don't think Wex would have
realized. Been thinking she was being clear and sneaky at the same time, but was completely not.
Yeah. I think Wex for sure is like oblivious to the fact that Ligaya has the seal. That's okay. So Ligaya managed to steal the box, though no one else knows that so far. And then the group. So we enter scene. Well, we enter scene 2, or sorry, Act 2. Act 2 with the group heading to a waterbender that Rumi knows in town, who can help heal Ligaya's headringer. And that is where we'll leave it. So we're now in Act 2. Make one more slight note. Just start here.
We never did anything with our motivations in this act.
I know. I was just thinking that, like, we never really.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's not true. Because Rumi's flaw is bossy, and effectively.
Yeah, definitely.
But we didn't do anything like explicit.
Yeah.
I don't mean we didn't play our characters. I meant like in the UPG there is like a specific motivation tied to a specific act.
Yeah. You're supposed
presumably
to
for some.
You're supposed to highlight. It's just that like you're supposed to highlight that particular motivation for each of the characters in the act or something. It should feature prominently. We did not really do that necessarily, but I think that like. I do think Rumi's flaw of bossiness did sort of set the tone for most of that act. So I'm comfortable with how it worked out. But But we certainly keep in mind for the desire.
Yeah.
Is the focus of Act 2. So for the next act, that'll be something to keep in mind. But
which my desire is belonging, is like finding friends I can trust, and so I feel like this we've just formed a little group. Moving forward, I think that will be like a good thing for me.
This is turning into like This is turning into like what could legitimately be an Avatar like spin-off series. I feel like actually, that's perfect.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Awesome. All right, so why don't we close it here because it is almost 11 p.m. here. We made it through another act. So one act a session.
Nice.
And are you guys down to continue this through the remaining acts?
Yeah, I whenever you guys have time, we can find some time together. We'll have to look at my calendar and let you know when I'm free.
Sure, yeah. So
at this rate, we should be finished in a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
In time for UPG version 2 to come out, actually, 2nd edition. So that'll be great.
I do think we are. There's like a lot of starting and stopping, and like I like the idea of the entropy track and like the feature tables. The feature tables gave us some cool ideas, but it also like every time I feel like we're getting caught up on like a lot of like how do we interpret this minute detail rather than like sticking with broad strokes and kind of letting our character actions and the Genesys dice control the narrative. I feel like we're trying to add a lot to things. And so it's slowing us down a little bit. We also did a a combat, which you guys know takes time anyway. So
yeah, I think a part is the combat takes time, even with like generators contributing to it. Also, though, I will say that we were using the UPG, like we were actively trying to use the tables and oracles more than necessary, I think. I imagine in a typical UPG,
gotta stress test them.
You're gonna use them when you use them. Like you don't always need to use them at every moment. They're there to assist. So like some groups will, or some solo players will be like, I want to use them for everything, and then it will go really slow and be sort of chunking through. But that's true even if you use like GM emulator, right? Like if you're relying entirely on your tables, it's gonna go slow. So I think it in my the aspirational balance of self-directed versus structured directed, I would say that like we were probably like 50% more reliant on the UPG than
last session.
I think that I think that like is sort of the ideal balance for like how in normal use you should play with the structured mode.
I got you. Okay.
I guess part of my, I mean, I am enjoying playing with you both, but part of my reason for wanting to do this was to kind of see like, since I haven't read the UPG, like how does it work?
How it works?
Yeah.
What can it give me? Like, why should I use this instead of Mythic, which I already know how to use? That kind of thing. So
those are good things to bring to the table, yeah.
That contributed to me asking, like, well, what does the UPG want us to do? Like, that kind of, like, repeatedly. In a way that I wouldn't necessarily do if I was just playing with my wife.
Right, exactly.
Do you feel like, because you, Crab, you said you have some game going with your wife that you're using this with?
Yeah, we're playing we are slower than this game even. We're slowly playing through a structured mode of it's just hard to find time with a toddler.
I was just wondering like how much you used the UPG during that compared to like how much we were using it tonight.
That we use it. I think it's about the same actually, but I think the difference is that we're doing that at a table, like at a physical table. And it's actually like a big, because one of the things is a big part of slowing things down, at least for me, is as nice as the Foundry VTT is, it actually like I have to like drop between tabs and like click between things, and it actually slows things down a lot versus just like flipping to a notebook and like writing something in a column. So I think we're pretty close in how much we're using it, but it's a lot faster with the way that we use it at the physical table. And then when I get to a version that I want to print out the UPG and don't have to use a PDF on a tablet, it'll be even faster at the table, I think. But that's also, I am probably doing a lot more heavy lifting in terms of like declaring content than she is, just because I play a lot more RPGs than she does. So it's
you got the experience.
Yeah.
Speaking of experience points, do we get any?
Well, so
we didn't last time.
Yeah, I mean, like I think this is not something we even really tackled in the UPG very much, other than like some sort of hand-waved guidance, right? So it's whatever you feel comfortable with. I'd be fine doing like 5 experience per session.
I'm cool with that
for us or something, just to get some like incremental progressions.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, why don't we? Well, why don't we say like 10 experience so far, because we've had the 2 sessions, so like everyone gets 10 experience, and just to keep Rumi in the same track.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Rumi was doing other stuff out in the city, presumably.
Sure. And you guys can do that.
We can't hear you anymore.
You're not pushing the talk.
You're talking a whole lot without us hearing you.
Sorry. You can do that in the journal tab of your character. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Journal tab
yeah.
of your character sheet. If you scroll to the bottom of the journal tab, there's the XP journal that actually tracks all of the automated purchases and stuff in Foundry.
Mm-hmm.
And if you press the plus sign, it'll open up a dialog to add experience points and give a reason. So let's just say like, session reward or whatever.
Yeah, session, yes. Session, X2 reward or something. You can put it however you want in your thing, but cool. So we can get a little bit of experience progression.
Nice. Now we have XP.
This
really makes me want to use Foundry for Genesys now. Like I have Genesys games that I run every time, not every time, but like once in a while on virtual. And I really want to like get down to the grind and get this built out.
I love of like the options on Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Like the Genesys mod right now is hands down the best, I think. Compared to like Star Wars RPG or doing something weird with like RPG sessions built into like a generic roller or whatever.
Yeah.
I still have issues with like I love Foundry, but I also
perfect,
like
but
it also
I
drives
like
me
it
crazy. Yeah, no, I mean, and it's not. It's just related to the virtual tabletop experience, where like I love it, but it also is like super frustrating. I'm glad I finally got the theater insert mod was finally updated and works. Before it wasn't working correctly at all. Which I really love the theater module.
Is that why I saw all of our characters show up
pop
at the
up
bottom?
on the screen as like a visual novel style? So when that happens, so you can do it right now. So I'll put them all up on the screen right now.
Is that what you're pressing add to stage to do that?
Yeah, and now if you go to the chat box and on the you can like select one of them, just left click on one, and you can even and there's like a little emoji sign there, right? And you can do like add little.
Oh, I'm not
visual.
Oh.
It's super.
Now it feels like a Jack in the Box game.
I know it's super dumb, but like I love this feature. I don't know why.
No, I'm not really seeing. So I can see the speech bubble appearing next to my name, but I don't see any like. Menu.
No. So in the sidebar, there's like a little emote selector right above the roller. So in the chat tab.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see.
Yeah, there's like, so you click on whichever one you want, and then you click the little emote selector, and then you can add a little animated emote. So like, I can add Wex, and then Wex is like, yep, there we go.
Oh, and your chat messages appear there too.
Yeah, and then you can also do chat messages and everything. Yeah. I adore this module. I absolutely love this module.
That's so clever. This is nice.
Yeah, that is hands down my favorite thing in Foundry, which is a little bit ridiculous, but it is what it is.
I can't fix mine. I'm like stuck in my angry mode.
You just click it again, and it should turn it off, I think. Just also delete this terrain stuff. Cool.
All right, fellas.
Yeah, let's.
We'll be in touch about another date.
Yeah, let's do our recovery rolls, because we do have.
Oh, that's smart.
Because I don't want to. Otherwise, it will be forgotten. Discipline or cool does not matter for me.
Well, I just spent my XP, so.
Ooh, nice.
So my cool is better than it was before.
Oh, we're spending right now.
Well, I was here. I figured I had an idea. This way I wouldn't forget. I'm the sort of person who spends XP like almost immediately. I'm very excited to get it.
I'm going level 2 on vigilance. I don't know what like talents I want yet, so I'm just gonna get another skill.
Yeah, I went
level 2 on cool.
Start investing in actually I don't know. I can't get animal companion is a tier 3, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't get animal companion quite yet, but I might start working towards that. I don't know. I'll think of it some thought. But
Nice. Two
Yeah,
successes.
we will. Yeah, well, we can schedule the next one in chat in the Discord and continue this adventure.
Sweet.
And
All right.
yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying the game. Jen, hopefully you're enjoying what you're learning of UPG. And of course, if you have any feedback, if there's whatever, like, give us the feedback.
Yeah, feedback is great. I like what you said earlier. I won't belabor it again, but you said earlier that like, what can this give you that you can't get from Mythic, which you already know? So like,
yeah,
absolutely. That's a question that we hope it's answering for you, and if it's not, like, what features do you want to see? What features do you like and not like? What would you use, not use it, whatever. But like, think about it. You don't have to do it right now.
I need
Yeah,
to
right
actually
now.
read the document at some point.
Yeah, I will. So it is going. I am because I make terrible decisions. I'm adding that, like, those additional like A through J tables, but once those are done, it will be days away from being published on the Foundry as V1, I think, because that's really all that's left. And then like then just like adding page numbers and some other like minor stuff. But so it'll be available on the Foundry pretty soon. Yeah, all right. And to our many viewers. So to our an enormous number of viewers for my Twitch channel, which is like really weird. Thanks for tuning in and watching us play through this little segment of Avatar: The Second Age. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And to those of you watching or listening on YouTube, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And we'll let you know when the next session will be. All right. Thanks, folks.